Good morning, Mother.
Good morning, Janice.
We didn't rehearse that.
Good morning, Janice Carroll.
How have you been this morning?
Very good. Very good.
What have you been doing?
Well, I read my paper, a little bit of it. Tried to work crossword puzzle, and I'm just too down now. And I turned on the TV, but didn't watch it.
So, because we say you can only say something derogatory about yourself one per time per video.
I can't say that my daughter has trouble talking.
So, it can be derogatory about anybody else, but you can't do self-derogatory. So, you just said you were done.
Oh.
So, no more.
Oh.
Okay? My daughter tells me that's a bad habit to get into.
Oh, you've got a very intelligent daughter.
Yes, I do.
You've got two intelligent daughters.
Yes, and an intelligent son.
And intelligent grandchildren.
Too bad you weren't blessed, right? Okay, so we're going to start out today by reading viewer comments.
Okay.
Okay, this is from your youngest daughter. Okay, I just started and I'm already having to stop to make comments. Maybe you should give Mom a mirror and let her look at herself in the mirror for 15 minutes before the podcast begins so that she can have a good long time to look at herself and is not so distracted by the camera. You have any comment about that?
Well, I can't have a negative comment, so I'll have my daughter Joan do that.
Oh, okay. Should be an interesting podcast.
Well, she was
And Kathy agreed with her wholeheartedly, by the way.
Oh, she would.
Yes. So, your son, which you only have one, so it's your youngest son, of course. When was the happiest day of her life? I missed it.
That's why it was the happiest day of my life, because he missed it.
Oh, ouch. Okay. Joan. She said she wasn't happy when she found out she was pregnant with me, but she figured she would probably get happy by the time I got here. But she never said she actually did get happy. So I think she wants clarification on that. Did you become excited about the pregnancy with Joan? Or having another baby? I don't guess you care about.
Well, that wasn't Joan's question, really.
I think that's what she needs affirmation about.
And she asked if I was happy that she was born.
No, she didn't. I did. I'm the moderator of the show.
Well, of course, Joan. You're my baby girl. In fact, you're the baby in the family, even though you're not really the baby of the family, but you are the baby of the family because Jack Edward had to treat you like the baby. Just because he was younger didn't make him the baby.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Maybe we might not air this podcast.
Do you think something's wrong with that?
Okay. Also, she admitted that after those 2 men at the restaurant helped her up, she gave them both hugs. Long hugs.
Well, Joan, she was a school teacher, and she had a newspaper when she was at the school, and those news people always want to make things dramatic. Well, now, doesn't that add drama?
Are you saying she's got a little bit of Joe Browning in her? Okay, we go on. I think this will teach you not to make comments because you're going to get burned if you make a comment.
I'm not saying anything derogatory.
Okay. The tone is a little bit sassy. I think the last time this was me. I think the last time she was happy was Becky was born. I think that was I got from it. But there's different views on that. Joan said, love the latest edition. I watched in my car and the volume was a little hard to hear this time. but that's definitely not a complaint. So I guess we should speak louder. Or critique, just information. And I didn't think about that, so let's just see if this will help. Oop. Maybe that'll help halfway through. Also, I said, yes, we are trying to accommodate a new background. I don't know why I'm reading this. They all read it. So, okay. Joan also would like to have viewers call in, but that takes a little planning, and that kind of restricts us a little bit because we have to be able to answer the phone. So I guess we could try to commit to a time.
Well,
Or-
we could turn the camera on one or the other of us looking for the phone.
Or we could also just send a text message, video is starting, and anybody who wants to call can call in. But we're
Right.
not doing many more of this because you're going back to Jackson. So these will stop, unless Ed's going to carry them on.
Going to Jackson,
So-
Tennessee.
Jack Edwards said, so did I hear that the theme of the show is making fun of Joe? Well, we kind of, the very first show did, but we have utmost respect for Joe now, since we've started doing these. It's very hard,
Extremely,
and especially to be interesting.
yes.
So,
Extremely.
Joan said he's got serious competition. He's not going to find out because these are coming to an end until maybe next time you come to visit. They all are lavishing us with praise, which is always nice. We always enjoy that. Pat has it hooked up so she can watch it on her TV.
Well,
That's-
she's always been smarter than the rest of us.
But you know, she texts at 10:23 p.m. last night. So she is.
Well, she's a working woman.
I know, but she's staying up pretty late
Well,
for being a working woman.
you've got to have.
And somehow she took from the video that I love that her happiest moments are now. Did you take that from the video
Oh,
yesterday?
yes.
Oh,
They are.
I guess I
Right now.
was thinking of my next question.
Probably.
Do
Do you see this gray streak
yeah,
here?
we're gonna do
I
glam.
just love that.
Oh, good. Well, don't get distracted. Tomorrow you will have to get glam because you have a doctor's appointment. So maybe we should do a very short one tomorrow so they can see you. So I was thinking about this video, and I thought what I would want to hear about is, you know how much you miss Grandpa Browning. I miss Dad a little bit more. So I was thinking about you telling me a little bit something about Dad.
Well, he hated his name. And he said every time in the Army, when they would call out, Private, I guess he was, when they called out names, Private Jackie Jr. Shelton, he would just cringe. And, you know, Jackie Gleason doesn't seem so upset with his name.
Jackie Gleason was a big man.
Well, what's that got to do with the name?
But Dad was a little bit boyish looking. So I'm sure it made him feel like a baby, is what I think, but maybe
Oh.
not.
Well, you explain it to me.
So, okay.
Now, you got any other questions?
Well, you know, I have a lot of memories about he was never boring.
Well, that's a good thing to.
There was always something going on.
That's true.
Crazy.
Well, that's true.
Do you have any thoughts or memories you could share about that? One of his craziest.
Well, somebody was telling someone that he shot the ornaments off the Christmas tree. I think with a BB gun. And I don't think it's his pistol. And they thought that was weird. And then he threw, a plate, when he was drying dishes one day, a plate was cracked. And he said, this needs to be thrown away. And I said, yes, it does. So you kids were all huddled in there by the heater because the house was so cold. And it was, we had a hardwood floor in there. So he just took that plate and threw it in there on that hardwood floor, and it just broke all to pieces. And screaming, oh, you kids were screaming. So then he got a chair and chopped it up because it had.
I thought he set through several more plates
Well, yeah, I think he did.
because of the adrenaline rush from.
Well, one time I had a dress on and had a chair in it. So he ripped it. It was at the waist. So he ripped it. And of course, all you girls screamed. And so I think he finally, I wore slips back then. So he ripped it all the way off. But
Then he ripped another shirt off of you. He went through a few of your clothing items. So what did you do?
I just waited for it all to pass over.
No, you didn't. You went and put on one of his shirts.
Oh, I was smart.
Yes, you were. I thought, oh, that's a good idea. Because it was not going to end.
Well, now, why did he think he could get by with that? Why did he
Because,
get by
Mom,
with
we
it?
had nothing. We had TV. And you think about it, it was really a great memory. We're talking about it, and I remember it vividly. And also throwing those plates scared me to death.
Well, yeah. Exciting, wasn't
Oh, yeah. And then the chopping of the.
it? Chair.
Why in the world would you need. I think that had to hurt. That bottom piece.
Well, it was a rocking chair.
I know, but the thick bottom piece, didn't he karate chop that too?
He karate chopped the whole chair. I mean, every time the girls would scream, he'd karate chop something else. And I guess his hand started hurting, so I quit. Or you girls quit screaming.
No, I don't think we would quit screaming. But yeah, that was rather exciting. And then the time he shot out the light fixture.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that one.
Well, I don't know. He had you kids in the living room, and he was doing his tricks that he got in trouble at school for. But anyway, he said, I'm going to shoot out that. Is it okay if I shoot out that? It wasn't the bulb, it was the cover for the bulb.
And I thought he was laying in bed with a slingshot, but maybe not.
No, because he was in the living room and it was in the kitchen.
I thought he was laying in the laundry room. It used to be the bedroom, and shot it from bed. That would have been terribly lazy if that was if that was true. But I think it sounds better. At least he was upright.
Well, yeah. And the bullet hole was in the the north area of it was towards Greeners. And so that had to come from the living room. But anyway, I took it down to the lumber yard and I told Mac Owen, Jack took a BB gun, shot out my kitchen light. I need a new one. And he wasn't the least bit surprised. He and your dad rode to work together for a long time.
Mac Oburn?
Yeah. When Mac worked at Carroll and Jack did. And they drove.
What did Mac do in Carroll?
He was with the housing some way. He was telling Jack, he said that some of the people that they give homes to do not understand that they own the home. He said when it gets cold and they don't have any wood, they just tear up part of the house. And they don't really understand owning a home.
Maybe he didn't understand poverty. Because, Carroll Housing Department was as crooked as you get.
Well,
They probably didn't.
This is where they built homes for them. It wasn't housing, but maybe the housing was part of it. Anyway, I know it's crooked.
Anything else you can think of that might interest our listeners?
Well, it seems like he chased everybody around the room with something, around the yard with something.
Mouse.
A mouse, and someone drove up. I think somebody picked you guys up. Oh, that was the time I was sweeping the sewage out of the living room.
No, Betty DiLeonardo came to pick up Kathy or drop off, and Dad was in the yard chasing you around the house with a dead mouse. Just normal everyday stuff. So it wasn't boring.
No, and when before we had kids and when we were first married, we bought water guns for Ralph and Larry. And they had tanks with them to hold more water. Well, we were shooting at each other, and mine would shoot better. And so he said, "Here, we got to trade." So his would shoot better. So traded. He's getting me wet, and so I took my canister off and threw it at him. Well, the water. No, I didn't throw the canister. I threw the water at him. And our neighbors, I told him, I said, he's 25 going on 15. Really, he's 25 going on 5. And that's where, I think it was that he caught a mouse. And I was pregnant with Pat. And I said, don't come, well, it was in a trap. And so he came, and he felt so sorry that he scared me. So he put that mouse behind his back and started at me. And I said, "Get out of here! I can't. I can't." And I guess I started. So he afraid I'd harm the baby.
And that was Pat.
And she's definitely afraid of mice.
We all are. That was a common theme. I remember we would sit up in bed and wait for Dad to get home and tell him there was a mouse. Like he could do something. Terribly afraid of mice.
Well, I think that you all need therapy.
Andy moved out and moved in with a bunch of boys. And Danny Stockdale was one. I don't know who all. There was like 5 boys. And the first time a mouse ran into the bathroom, he jumped on the stool and screamed. He might not like this story. And those guys are, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "That's what everybody always did at my house."
Oh my goodness.
So I think we pass this scar down to our children because I've been told by my daughters if they get a mouse, they're moving out of their house. But
that can get expensive.
Yeah, and I remember Don Bailey and Dad with bricks throwing at rats in the backyard.
Oh, really? Well, there were. Joe Thornton had a goat, maybe, in a pen back there. And there were rats, and maybe it sounded up in the attic. I mean, it sounded like beavers up there. I never heard of beaver.
But you sound like they'd be loud.
Yeah.
Well, I think we pretty much passed the time. That's my text messages coming on there.
Oh,
So, I guess until we decide to do it again.
okay. Happy trails to you.
Love you, Mom.
Or we'll ride off in the sun. Oh, who's that?
Spam risk.
Oh.
So, okay. Love you, Mom.
Love you, Jen.
See you guys.